Have you ever wondered what happens when you buy a car that looks practical on paper but slowly turns into a daily headache? When the tech feels outdated after 6 months? The fuel costs creep higher than promised, and the excitement you felt at the dealership quietly fades into regret. Or worse, when a vehicle tries so hard to be exciting that it sacrifices the one thing you actually needed from it every single day, which is reliability, comfort, and peace of mind. And that is the uncomfortable question many buyers are asking themselves right now as they scroll through endless compact SUVs promising adventure, personality, and performance, but quietly ignoring the reality of traffic, parking lots, long commutes, school runs, grocery hauls, and rising ownership costs. And this is exactly where the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross enters the conversation. Not with drama, not with flashy claims, but with a calm confidence that feels almost rebellious in a market obsessed with Because the Corolla Cross isn't trying to be your weekend fantasy vehicle, it's designed for the life you're actually living. And that's a refreshing shift when so many people end up overbuying size, power, and complexity they never truly use, only to pay for it later in fuel, maintenance, and frustration. And for 2026, Toyota has doubled down on refining what already worked instead of reinventing it, with subtle exterior updates that clean up the design without turning it aggressive, an interior that feels more thoughtfully arranged for daily use, better materials where your hands actually touch, and an infotainment system that focuses on clarity and responsiveness instead of burying simple functions behind layers of menus. And while no one is pretending this is a performance SUV, the real-world driving experience is tuned for the moments that matter most. Smooth acceleration in traffic, stable highway cruising, predictable steering, and the kind of ride quality that doesn't punish you for imperfect roads. And that enough power conversation becomes interesting here because most drivers need thrilling acceleration. They need confidence when merging, passing, and driving fully loaded. And the Corolla Cross delivers that without demanding premium fuel or draining your wallet at every fill-up. Especially if you're re-looking at the hybrid option, which quietly becomes one of the smartest long-term choices in this segment when fuel efficiency, resale value, and reduced wear all start to add up over years of ownership. And this is where Toyota's reputation still matters in 2026. Because while other brands chase bold redesigns and experimental tech, Toyota focuses on systems that age well, meaning fewer unexpected repairs, more predictable maintenance costs, and a vehicle that feels just as usable in year 5 as it did on day 1. And step inside and you immediately notice how the Corolla Cross prioritizes visibility, seating comfort, and logical control placement, which makes long commutes less tiring, daily errands less annoying, and family duties easier to manage, with rear seats that can comfortably handle adults and kids alike. Cargo space that's shaped for real items instead of just impressive numbers, and a driving position that feels natural rather than sporty for this a covet. And when it comes to technology, this is where many buyers quietly suffer. Because overly complex systems can feel impressive during a test drive but become infuriating over time. And the Corolla Cross avoids that trap by keeping physical controls where they matter, offering smartphone integration that works consistently, and driver assistance features that support you without constantly interrupting or overreacting. And safety plays a huge role here because daily driving is where accidents actually happen, not on racetracks or mountain trails, and Toyota's safety sense continues to be a strong point, delivering standard features that reduce stress in traffic and add real peace of mind for families, commuters, and anyone who just wants to arrive safely without thinking about it. And when you compare the Corolla Cross to rivals that may look more exciting or feel sportier on paper, you start to notice how often those vehicles compromise ride, comfort, fuel economy, or long-term reliability in exchange for short-term appeal. And that's where the Corolla Cross quietly wins by being honest about its purpose. Because it's not built for bragging rights, it's built for people who plan to keep their car, rely on it, and live with it day after day. And this becomes even clearer when you think about ownership 3 to 5 years down the line. When resale value matters, maintenance history matters, and predictability becomes a financial advantage rather than a buzzkill. And that's why the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross feels less like a trendy purchase and more like a strategic one, especially for commuters, small families, first-time SUV buyers, or anyone downsizing from something bigger and more expensive. While those chasing excitement, off-road thrills, or a performance drama may want to look elsewhere, because this vehicle knows exactly what it is and refuses to pretend otherwise. And maybe that's the real appeal here, because in a world full of automotive noise, the Corolla Cross offers something rare, a sense of calm, control, and confidence that doesn't fade once the novelty wears off. leaving you with a vehicle that simply fits into your life instead of demanding attention. And the real question becomes not whether it's exciting enough, but whether reducing stress, cost, and uncertainty is exactly what you've been looking for all along.